Welcome to Flag Day 2018 here in beautiful Port Jervis. It's a lovely night. I'd first like to thank Pack 67. I'm so used to Marion Roner, that's why I said it. Pack 67 for handing out, the local Cub Scouts for handing out the brochures and the flags. Thank you. And I'd also like to thank the Broom Street Band, who we'll hear from again under the direction of Jason Census, for playing some of our patriotic favorites. On behalf of myself and the City Council, which we have a few here tonight, we have George Belcher, we have Maria Mann, Kristen Troby, Lisa Randazzo, and Stan Siegel. We welcome you to the Flag Day ceremony. And to kick off, what is Flag Day? For many of the kids, not sure. For many of the adults, you've only heard the story once or twice. You know, it was only on New Year's Day in 1752 when Elizabeth, her nickname was Betsy Griscom, was born. 21 years later, she eloped with John Ross in 1773. Yes, that was the year of the Boston Massacre. They were married by New Jersey governor, who was also a loyalist, William Franklin. That's right, Ben Franklin's son. It was turmoil years for the British colonies of America that were about to embark on a historic venture. By 1776, Betsy and her husband were settled down in Philadelphia and operating an upholstery business. 242 years ago, the Continental Army was reorganized under George Washington, and even those early years of the war were tumultuous and non-forgiving. John believed in his patriotic duty to serve. Unfortunately, he died for the cause. The two never had children. The idea of a flag for our new country came about in late May or June of 1776. It was George Washington, who, as we know, was from Virginia, but was in Philadelphia as he was the president of the Second Continental Congress, and also a church acquaintance of Betsy Ross at the Christ Church of Philadelphia. It was George Ross, John's uncle, and Robert Morris, an owner of vast amounts of land, who went to visit Betsy. By the way, Robert Morris became Governor Morris. And so George Washington showed her a drawing of a six-pointed star. Look at the stars on this flag. They're not six-pointed, and here's why. It was a rough draft that George Washington had, and Betsy looked at him and said, listen, in one cut, she had a five-pointed star. She says it's much easier to make flags with a five-pointed star. Thus, we have, with a single snip, a five-pointed star. Betsy Ross took on the task of creating a new flag for our country and finished it in late June of 1776. The following year, Betsy married Sea Captain John Ashburn in June of 1777, within days of June 14th. It was the day the Second Continental Congress was seeking to promote national pride, like we are here today, and unity by honoring a new national flag. The resolution stated that the flag of the United States of America be 13 stripes, alternate red and white, that the Union be 13 stars, white in a blue field, representing a new constellation, and the flag was born. Betsy and John went on to have two daughters. Unfortunately, one of those daughters died very young. Several years later, John died towards the end of the Revolutionary War, as he also served. Betsy remarried once again to John Claypool, another sailor, and in June of 1783, they got married and they went on to have 5 more daughters. Betsy Griscom Ross Ashburn Claypool died on January 30th, 1836 at 84 years old. And there's the story of how our flag was born. I'm now going to ask Miss Rachel Ainella, the regent of the Old Mine Road chapter NSDAR, to give the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty
Also, please remain standing as the members, it says senior class, but I apologize because we have more than the senior class. So it is the Port Jervis High School Concert Choir that is conducted by Miss Gordon, who will sing our national anthem. Fantastic, thank you very much. And congratulations to the seniors who are graduating. We move next to, you may be seated. We move next to the unfurling of the American flag by the Port Jervis Elks. And we invite up Gary Jones, the past exalted ruler of the Benevolent Protective Order of the Elks, Port Jervis Lodge, number 645, to do with the presentation.
I'm going to put it this way.
Welcome everybody this evening. I'm going to wait before I speak as we unfurl our huge, huge American flag. We were uncertain whether we were going to do it this evening with all the high wind that was today. If there's any volunteers out there that would like help, I'd appreciate it. When he comes along, you might be like Dorothy. Thank you, everyone, for helping with the flag. Appreciate it. It is an honor that the City of Port Jervis invites our Port Jervis Lodge, number 645, to participate in this annual Flag Day ceremony every year. Thank you, Mayor Decker. The Benevolent and Protective Order had an intricate part in creating this special day. Patriotism Patriotism has characterized the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks of the United States of America since the early days of this organization, of which this year we celebrate 150 years of existence. Allegiance to the flag of our country is a requirement of every member. In 1907, the Grand Lodge of the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks designated by resolution June 14th as Flag Day. The Grand Lodge of Order adopted mandatory observance of this occasion by every lodge in 1911. And that requirement continues. Every lodge throughout the country, over 2,300 lodges, will be celebrating Flag Day either today or this past weekend or this following weekend, either at their lodges or at one of these public ceremonies. The Grand Lodge, the Elks prompt President Woodrow Wilson to recognize the Order's observance of Flag Day for his patriotic expression. But it was not until 1949 when President Harry Truman, himself a member of the Elks, made the proclamation that thereafter June 14th would be a day of national observance for the symbol of our country. It was through the Elks Lodge in Independence, Missouri, that President Truman got the idea for a national observance of Flag Day. Thank you to the Benevolent and Protective Orders of Elks for making this day what it is today. I want to thank my brothers and sisters, lodge members, and some volunteers that helped to hold our flag. To hold our large American flag that we proudly carry and display during various parades and ceremonies. Thank you, members, and thank you, volunteers. In the words of our lodge and over 2,300 other lodges, to our flag. At the end of our meetings, when the flag is brought from our altar back to our leading knight, we proudly say, may we ever love and defend it. Thank you. God bless you. God bless our veterans and military personnel now serving. And have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Thank you to the Elks. I now invite up a long-time Flag Day ceremony. We've been doing this for, I believe, 40 years, it says on the beginning, and I'm sure she's been here for 40 years, as well as Mr. Roberts, who started the local Flag Day ceremony 40 years ago. But I'd invite up Miss Toni Marion.
Thank you, Mayor Decker. Yes, it's been 40 years at least. Thank you very much, and happy Flag Day, everyone. I have a short reflection on patriotism and Flag Day that I would like to share with you. I've been a member of Daughters of the American Revolution since 1973. That's 45 years, so I guess maybe it's 45 years. I am a charter member of Old Mine Road chapter. That means I was one of the ladies who started the chapter, and I'm very proud of that. I am directly descended from Jacob Rome, who lived in New Jersey and fought in the American Revolution. Every year, DAR has a national convention in DAR headquarters in Washington, D.C. Our headquarters occupy an entire city block there. Opening ceremonies and awards night takes place in Memorial Continental Hall. The seating capacity of Memorial Continental Hall is 3,702 persons. Several years ago, I was able to attend this national convention. As we stood for the opening ceremonies, a huge American flag suspended from the high ceiling unfurled and took my breath away. very much like the Elks flag. The first time I saw this, I was amazed. Such a strong feeling of patriotism and love for the United States of America came over me. I was with more than 3,500 other women who were all descended from Revolutionary War patriots. As I stood there looking around at all the other ladies from all walks of life, I said to myself, all of us are descended from someone who fought in the American Revolution. How amazing is that? We came from all parts of the country, from diverse backgrounds, but we all had this in common. We all wanted to be there and to work together to keep our country great. I always think of that big flag at DAR headquarters every time I see the Elks Great flag. Today we are all here because we want to be here and we want to keep our beloved country great. Happy Flag Day, everyone, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony. And of course, without much introduction, we have Miss Catherine Westfall, who not only leads us in patriotic song, but has even written her own, which is on the back cover of the flyer that you received. So I'm going to ask Catherine to come up. She claims that the podium's gotten bigger. It hasn't. But we got something for her here so that she can stand up. Miss Catherine Westfall.
Hi, Cam. I couldn't wait to be a little bit taller. All right, this evening I wanted to do another poem in rhymes for Flag Day. So I'm going to do that first for everyone, and then after I read that, if all the scouts would come with their flags on the steps, and any young people, would you come up here after this reading? Because I like to include you. The flag of our great and glorious land. Now be respectful of our flag. Its beauty stands for freedom for every woman, child, and man. In this, our great and glorious land. Now keep it safe, away from harm, and fly it proudly atop city skyscrapers and country farms. And with the hand on heart, proudly stand, for this the flag of our great glorious land. And when the parade passes by, with Old Glory flying high, with hand on heart, we proudly stand, for this our flag of our great glorious land. Fly it often and keep it near, for it's the symbol of all we hold dear. Be proud, salute, stand side by side, and with hand on heart, we proudly stand, for this the flag of our great glorious land. Thank you. Now, everybody come on up.
Kids,
Come on up.
Scouts and all kids, come on up here up on the steps.
And you have, and everybody who has attended this,
Those
a
of you
program
that
every
really
year.
read, we got words to the songs that we're going to sing in here.
Right, and you know it. And it's a very simple little
You probably
song.
heard some.
Oh, right, right. So, boys and girls, wave your flags, okay? Here we go. Our flag has flown through many wars, has flown on many foreign shores. Our flag is you, our flag is me. Fly it proudly for all to see. For as in war and when we're free, hold high the flag of this great country. Our flag will wave for years to come. It waves for all, for everyone. In peace and war, in a land that's free, the flag waves on for you, for me. And as it waves on for you and I, remember those who lived, who died. For it's our flag of liberty, the red, the white, the blue. Yes, fly it high for all to see. The stars, the stripes of this great country. Thank you. Good job. Give yourself Okay. What we're going to do is dance. Okay, let's do, everybody knows Yankee Doodle, right? Yep. Okay. Here we go. Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. Father and I went down to camp along with Captain Gooding, and there we saw the men and boys as thick as hasty pudding. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the steps, and with the girls be handy. Yeah. Okay, now the next one we'll do is You're a Grand Old Flag. Okay? Here we are. You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true to the red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brag. Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag. Thank you. Give yourself a hand. Thank you very much. God bless America. Amen.
Thank you, Catherine. Yeah. Before I give the benediction, as in years past, there doesn't a year go by that we do not do a proclamation in the city for Flag Day. Whereas the first annual day specifically celebrating the flag is believed to have originated in 1884, and whereas Flag Day was officially established by the proclamation of President Woodrow Wilson on May 30th, 1916, and whereas on August 3rd, 1949, President Harry Truman signed an act of Congress designating June 14th of each year as National Flag Day, and whereas on June 14th each year, communities across our nation recognize the Stars and Stripes by properly displaying the flag from their homes, businesses, and public buildings. And whereas by observing this tradition of Flag Day celebration by properly displaying the flag of the United States of America, it is strongly endorsed by the city of Port Jervis. And therefore, I, Kelly B. Decker, Mayor of the city of Port Jervis, declare June 14th, 2018 Flag Day within the city of Port Jervis, and encourage all residents to participate in the traditional celebration of Flag Day by properly displaying the United States American flag. I ask you to bow your heads. Dear Lord, please not only stand by our flag, but stand by our citizens, especially the citizens of the armed services of the United States, as they risk their lives to protect the symbol of the flag of the United States of America that keeps us safe and out of harm's way. In your name we pray, amen. To end our Flag Day ceremony, we once again turn to the the Broome Street Band, and for all those who are present, I believe the Stars and Stripes are listed on here to sing along. Yes. I gotta check. No, but you know what? If you know it, sing it. They will be performing Stars and Stripes Forever. Thank you once again for attending our Flag Day ceremony, June 14th, 2018. Be safe at going home, and remember our flag of the United States that represents the freedoms that each of you and I enjoy. Thank you. Have a great night.